first light of dawn barely touches the jagged horizon, yet the Arctic sky is already alive. Faint strokes of lavender and icy blue ripple across the firmament, mingling with the ghostly green curtains of the northern lights that sway with an almost sentient grace. The frozen tundra stretches endlessly beneath them, a vast expanse of silver and white, punctuated by the skeletal forms of frostbitten shrubs and the occasional jagged rock. Every ridge and valley is coated in a layer of snow so pure it glows faintly under the celestial display. The wind whispers across the ice, carrying with it the scent of ancient glaciers and the faint tang of conifers, creating a silence so complete it feels sacred, as if the entire world is holding its breath. Yet within this serene stillness, life is preparing to stir. Beneath the snow, small creatures wriggle in hidden burrows, their tiny bodies warming the cold earth with the pulse of survival. Lemmings, the unseen heartbeat of the tundra, emerge cautiously, their soft footsteps crunching lightly on the frost. Farther off, a flock of snow buntings takes flight, their white feathers blending almost invisibly with the snowfields, while a distant eagle circles, keen eyes scanning for movement, for opportunity, for life. And then, faint, almost imperceptible at first, comes a sound that breaks the reverent quiet. A rhythmic drumming against the frozen ground, steady, unyielding. The sound grows, swelling into a resonant, rolling cadence, hooves against frost, the pulse of life returning to the Arctic. A ripple runs across the plains, subtle at first, then undeniable. The Great Migration is beginning. From the distant horizon, shadows appear, small and indistinct. As the sun rises higher, painting the sky in gold and rose, the shapes take form, hundreds, then thousands of caribou, moving with the precision of instinct and the elegance of nature's choreography. Their antlers, like crowns forged from the winter itself, glint faintly in the nascent sunlight. The ground shudders beneath their weight, each step a testament to endurance, each breath a defiance of the merciless cold. They move as one, yet each individual is a story, a journey, a life intertwined with the rhythm of this frozen land. Above, the northern lights shimmer in muted applause, a celestial audience for the greatest land pilgrimage on earth. Every ridge, every valley, every icy stream bears witness to this awakening, as if the land itself exhales after a long frozen slumber. The tundra vibrates not with wind or storm, but with the living pulse of migration, an unstoppable force that has etched its path across Alaska for millennia. Here, in this expanse of ice, snow, and light, there are no guarantees. Hunger, cold, and predators await, yet the herds press onward, driven by instinct older than memory itself. Each hoofbeat is both a declaration and a promise. Survival is not optional. It is demanded, earned, and revered. Welcome to the wild heart of Alaska, where survival is not a choice, but a legacy. As the first stirrings of life ripple across the tundra, the landscape of Alaska reveals itself in quiet grandeur. The endless plains draped in snow and ice stretch toward distant mountains whose peaks pierce the sky like frozen sentinels. Between the ridges, rivers gleam silver under the morning sun, their currents veiled by drifting mist, carrying with them the whispers of the Arctic wilderness. Here, in this fragile harmony of extremes, the tundra meets the dense boreal forests, a mosaic of spruce, fir, and birch where shadows cling to the ground, and the air hums with unseen energy. This is a land of contrasts. Summer sunlight bathes the north in an endless glow, the sun skimming the horizon for 24 hours, painting every ridge and river with golden clarity. Yet in winter, temperatures plunge below 40 degrees C, winds slicing across the open plains with merciless precision, turning breath into frost and rivers into solid paths of ice. Life here is a constant negotiation with the elements, a testament to endurance and adaptation. In these extremes, beauty and danger coexist in perfect equilibrium. The tundra may sparkle like a diamond field under the northern light, but beneath its frozen surface lurks hunger and predation. Wolves stalk silently along frozen ridges, their gray coats blending seamlessly with the snow, eyes sharp and calculating, ears twitching for the faintest whisper of movement. Grizzly bears, massive and untamed, patrol the riverbanks and forests, their claws gouging the earth as they seek salmon or vulnerable caribou calves. Above, eagles wheel gracefully in the sky, their piercing cries echoing across valleys, ready to seize the unwary from above. Every stream, every hillock, every shadowed grove holds the potential for triumph or tragedy. The caribou know this instinctively. Their migration is not simply a movement from one grazing ground to another. It is a journey through a gauntlet of ice, wind, and predation. The terrain demands constant vigilance, hidden crevices in the snow, frozen rivers that can give way beneath the weight of 1,000 hooves, and the ever-present eyes of hunters both in the forest and on the wind. Yet there is poetry in this peril. The tundra's stark white expanses contrast with the deep green of the taiga, while rivers carve ribbons of silver through valleys of brown and gray. Clouds gather over distant peaks, hinting at storms to come, yet also casting dramatic shadows across the land, painting the wilderness in shades of tension and anticipation. Even the harshest winds carry a rhythm, a pulse that drives every creature to move, to hunt, to survive. In Alaska, survival is neither gentle nor guaranteed. It is earned day by day, step by step, breath by breath. The land demands respect, resilience, and an unyielding will, shaping every hoofbeat, every paw print, every wing beat in a symphony of life and struggle. It is here, in this frozen arena of light and shadow, snow and forest, predator and prey, that the epic journey of the caribou truly begins. Beyond the jagged mountains and glimmering rivers, Alaska unfolds into a landscape both stark and mesmerizing. Endless tundra plains stretch as far as the eye can see, dotted here and there with clusters of hardy shrubs and frozen pools reflecting the pale Arctic sun. To the north, the Arctic Circle draws a faint, invisible line across the land, marking the edge of the world where winter light disappears for months, and summer sunlight never truly sets. Rolling hills give way to the rugged peaks of the Brooks Range, jagged spines of rock that seem to divide the sky from the earth, creating a natural corridor for the countless species that traverse this wilderness. The tundra is alive with subtle energy. Under the frozen crust, life pulses quietly, waiting for the season to bloom. Streams carve intricate patterns into the landscape, meandering through valleys and feeding the shallow lakes that dot the plains. The wind sweeps across the ground, carrying the scent of lichen and the faint tang of frost. Here, nature has honed its designs over millennia, every ridge, every hollow, every icy stream serving as a guide for those who move with instinct and memory. And slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, the scene begins to change. Tiny tremors of motion ripple across the white expanse. Dust rises from frozen patches of earth. Faint shadows stretch and twist in the morning sun. The sound of hooves, soft yet insistent, begins to echo through the valley, blending with the whispering wind. From a distance, shapes emerge, moving steadily, purposefully, a wave of life rolling across the tundra. The hooves pound rhythmically against the frozen earth, sending shards of ice and snow tumbling behind them. Their legs, strong and sinewy, propel each creature forward with astonishing endurance, muscles flexing under coats of thick, winter-hardened fur. Nostrils flare as they draw in the crisp Arctic air, each breath a testament to survival. Their eyes, dark and intelligent, glint with awareness, scanning the horizon for danger while remaining focused on the road ahead. The herd moves as a living entity, yet each individual carries its own story, a calf taking its first steps, a matriarch guiding the younger members, a male keeping pace with determination forged through countless migrations past. The tundra itself seems to bend to their journey. Every hill and valley a chapter in an ancient story, written in hoofprints and the scent trails they leave behind. Predators watch from distant ridges and forest edges, yet the herd presses on, driven by instinct older than memory, an enduring rhythm that has echoed across Alaska for thousands of years. And among all who call this wilderness home, one creature leads the greatest pilgrimage on Earth, the caribou. Amid the vastness of Alaska, one species moves with a rhythm older than the mountains themselves, the caribou. Known also as reindeer in other parts of the world, these majestic herbivores are sculpted for endurance and survival. Adults stand nearly 4 feet at the shoulder, their muscular bodies covered in thick, insulating fur that shifts with the seasons, from soft, silvery gray in summer to dense chocolate brown in winter, layered with hollow hairs that trap warmth against the biting cold. Their antlers, broad and imposing, rise like frozen crowns above their heads. While males wield their antlers in displays of strength during the rutting season, females retain theirs much longer, guiding their calves through treacherous terrain and warding off predators with silent authority. Caribou are nature's marathoners. Each year, they undertake a migration spanning over 3,000 miles, the longest land migration of any terrestrial mammal on Earth. Across tundra, forest, river, and ice, they travel in pursuit of food, safety, and the continuation of their lineage. Their journey is not leisurely. It is a relentless odyssey shaped by the need to reach summer calving grounds and winter feeding areas. Along the way, every step, every breath, and every glance is dictated by instinct honed over millennia. The structure of the herd is as precise as it is ancient. Leading the column are the females, experienced matriarchs who remember the paths carved by generations past. Their knowledge of terrain, water crossings, and predator territories guides the herd's decisions. Behind them, males follow, sometimes traveling alone or in small subgroups, conserving energy for the breeding season while maintaining vigilance against threats. Calves huddle close to their mothers, learning the rhythm of the migration with each tentative step, absorbing cues from the elders that will carry them through life. Even the herd's pace is a dance of survival, swift enough to evade predators, measured enough to conserve stamina, coordinated enough to navigate obstacles as a unified force. Caribou are equipped with remarkable adaptations for this epic pilgrimage. Their wide, concave hooves act like natural snowshoes, preventing them from sinking into snow or soft tundra. Hardened edges grip ice with uncanny precision, and their strong, flexible legs absorb the shock of pounding thousands of miles across unforgiving terrain. Their sense of smell and keen eyesight allow them to detect predators from a distance, while their acute hearing captures the faintest whispers of movement across snow or ice. Even their digestive system is a marvel, capable of extracting nutrients from lichen, moss, and hardy tundra vegetation that would sustain few other creatures. Yet beyond the anatomy lies something even more extraordinary. Instinct. Migration is etched into their very being, an inherited map that guides them across endless landscapes. The pulse of the herd, a synchronized rhythm of movement, grazing, resting, and alertness, reflects an ancient wisdom. Generations of caribou have followed the same courses, each step reinforcing the knowledge embedded in the collective memory of the herd. It is this blend of physical prowess, communal intelligence, and inherited instinct that transforms the caribou from mere animals into the true wanderers of the North, carrying the heartbeat of Alaska across frozen plains, icy rivers, and endless horizons. As the Arctic spring stretches its tentative light across the tundra, life renews itself in fragile, miraculous forms. Beneath a sky streaked with pale gold, caribou calves take their first wobbly steps on frost-kissed earth. Born into a world both breathtaking and brutal, these newborns weigh barely 30 pounds, their slender legs trembling beneath soft, spotted bodies that will soon harden into the powerful form of adulthood. With each hesitant step, they imprint their place upon the frozen plains, a testament to resilience written in fur and determination. Mothers stand watch, their breath forming clouds in the crisp air, eyes constantly scanning for the unseen dangers that prowl the edges of the calving grounds. Wolves, grizzlies, and wolverines linger in the distance, drawn by instinct to the vulnerable, yet the maternal vigilance is unyielding. Antlers and hooves ready to defend, each female caribou guides her calf with gentle nudges, soft low calls, and the quiet force of experience. The bond between mother and calf is instantaneous and vital. Without it, survival is fleeting. Remarkably, these calves are born with one of nature's most astonishing abilities. Within hours of birth, they can stand and run. Their first attempts may appear clumsy, legs splaying against the uneven snow, but instinct drives their every movement. Within a day, they can keep pace with the herd, navigating icy streams and snow-packed ridges alongside adults. This extraordinary speed is not just a biological curiosity, it is a lifeline. In the frozen expanse of Alaska, the first hours of life define the difference between life and death. Timing is everything. Calves are born precisely when the tundra begins to awaken from its long winter slumber. The snow melts in patches, revealing fresh shoots of lichen, moss, and tender grasses, the first sustenance for growing bodies. Predators are still hungry after months of scarcity, but the abundance of new growth allows mothers to nourish their young, replenishing energy spent during pregnancy and birth. It is a delicate balance. Birth too early, and snow and cold threaten survival. Birth too late, and the herd risks insufficient time to reach safer grazing grounds. Evolution has refined this rhythm, aligning life with the pulse of the land itself. Across the plains, the sound of tiny hooves blends with the distant thunder of the migrating adults, creating a symphony of motion and purpose. Calves stumble, recover, and stumble again, yet each step carries them further into the world that awaits. In this frozen wilderness, life begins not in comfort, but in motion, in courage, and in the intimate bond between mother and child. The caribou calves, barely hours old, embody the relentless spirit of the North, stepping boldly into a journey that will stretch thousands of miles across tundra, forest, and river. They are born to move, to survive, to endure, and to continue the timeless pilgrimage of their species. As the sun arcs lazily across the Arctic sky, the caribou herd moves with a rhythm born of instinct and necessity. Grazing dominates the day, each animal lowering its head to sample the tender shoots of lichen, moss, and grasses that push through the thawing tundra. Their lips, prehensile and precise, strip nourishment from frozen ground, while powerful neck muscles allow them to sweep across swaths of vegetation with effortless efficiency. Between bites, ears flick at distant sounds, the crack of ice, the rustle of wind over snow, the faint whisper of a predator on the move. Resting is no luxury, it is a calculated strategy. Herds pause on gentle slopes, calves nestled between adults, muscles tense and ready to spring. Even in repose, vigilance never falters. Eyes scan horizons, nostrils flare to capture the faintest scent of danger, and subtle body language communicates silently through the group. A flick of an ear, a shift in posture, a deliberate glance. Each motion carries warnings or reassurance. Survival in the tundra is a dance choreographed by millions of years of adaptation, where every pause is a note in the symphony of endurance. Caribou are extraordinary navigators, guided not by maps or landmarks, but by an innate sense of the earth itself. Scientists have discovered that these animals perceive magnetic fields, allowing them to traverse thousands of miles with astonishing precision. Through shifting currents and invisible compass lines, herds cross rivers, climb ridges, and descend valleys, rarely straying from ancestral routes. The tundra's vastness offers no landmarks to the inexperienced eye, yet to the caribou, every subtle magnetic pulse becomes a guiding thread, weaving a path from calving grounds to winter pastures and back again. As the sun sinks low, painting the tundra in amber and rose, male caribou begin their displays of dominance. Antlers, broad and imposing, clash under the fading light, sending reverberations across the plains. These battles are both ritual and necessity, a test of strength that establishes hierarchy within the herd. Males spar in measured bursts, muscles straining, breaths misting in the cold air, yet rarely to fatal extremes. Victory grants access to mating opportunities, while defeat ensures the continuation of the herd's social balance. Observing from the sidelines, females and calves learn the rhythm of power, understanding which males lead and which follow. Hierarchy is woven into every aspect of the herd's existence. Matriarchs guide movements, their experience dictating the pace and direction. Younger males and subordinate adults fall into position, instinctively maintaining spacing, conserving energy, and reducing conflict. This subtle order is crucial. It allows the herd to move as a coordinated unit, optimizing grazing, predator detection, and migration efficiency. Even minor disruptions can ripple through the group, altering the herd's rhythm and testing the resilience of its members. Across the tundra, hooves beat a steady cadence against frozen earth, echoing the enduring pulse of life in the Arctic. Grazing, resting, sparring, evading. These are not random acts, but components of a complex choreography honed through millennia. Every movement, every glance, every calculated step ensures that the herd survives, thrives, and continues the ancient journey etched into their very being. Here, on the edge of the world, the dance of survival is relentless, exacting and breathtaking in its precision. Across the frozen expanse of Alaska, the caribou move with measured purpose, unaware that every hoofbeat sends vibrations through the snow, vibrations that predators feel long before they are seen. Among the most formidable of these hunters are the gray wolves, their sleek, muscular forms blending seamlessly into the winter landscape. Wolves do not hunt alone. They rely on the precision of the pack. Every member has a role. Scouts move ahead to locate the herd. Flankers position themselves downwind to anticipate movement, while the alphas orchestrate the chase with silent signals. Their strategy is patient, methodical, and merciless. Tracking a migrating herd requires more than speed. Wolves read the terrain, the scent trails embedded in snow, and the subtle behaviors of the caribou themselves. A flick of an ear, a pause in gait, a glance over the shoulder. To a wolf, these are whispers of vulnerability. For days, packs may follow at a distance, conserving energy, waiting for weakness to emerge. And when opportunity strikes, the chase ignites. A blur of fur and teeth across white plains, tension building with every pounding step. Yet wolves are not the only threat. Opportunistic grizzly bears lie in wait near riverbanks, their immense bulk concealed among the sparse forest and rocky outcroppings. Wolverines, small but relentless, shadow the edges of the herd, ready to snatch an injured calf or scavenge from the leftovers of a bear or wolf kill. Each predator exploits the herd in a different way. Wolves for endurance hunts, bears for brute strength, wolverines for stealth and tenacity. Together they form a web of pressure, testing the resilience of the caribou and ensuring that only the fittest survive. A hunt begins as shadows stretch across the tundra, the golden light of the Arctic sun glinting off icy ridges. A lone calf strays too far from its mother. The wolves surge forward, muscles rippling beneath fur, jaws parted in anticipation. The herd reacts in unison, hooves pound, dust and snow whirl, and the rhythm of panic and survival intertwines. The calf darts, zigzagging to confuse its pursuers, while adults position themselves strategically, antlers lowered in warning, eyes alert to every movement. The chase flows across frozen streams, over snow-packed ridges, and through valleys where sound carries for miles. In the end, some escape, others fall, a stark but essential reality of Arctic life. This interplay between predator and prey is not chaos, it is balance. Wolves sharpen their endurance against the vigilance of the caribou. Bears and wolverines remind the herd of vulnerability, nudging evolution with every encounter. The caribou, in turn, shape the hunting patterns of their predators, forcing adaptation, patience, and cunning. Each pursuit, each narrow escape, each loss reinforces the ecosystem, crafting a landscape where life and death coexist in a constant, intricate dance. Across the endless plains, the herd continues its migration, moving as a living entity guided by instinct, memory, and the ever-present pressure of predators. Nature, in its rawest form, does not forgive mistakes. Yet it rewards resilience, coordination, and vigilance, ensuring that life in the Arctic remains as breathtaking as it is unforgiving. The herd halts at the edge of a swollen, icy river, its surface fractured with jagged ice flows and currents that roar with hidden power. Caribou gather along the bank, nostrils flaring, ears swiveling, eyes scanning the uncertain water. This is a crucible, a test of strength and instinct, where hesitation can mean disaster. Mothers nuzzle calves, guiding them toward shallower channels, while the older males paw the snow in silent deliberation, weighing each step against the force of the river. And then, as if moved by some collective resolve, the first caribou plunge forward. Hooves splash through icy water, muscles straining against the current. Snow and ice whirl into the rushing torrent, mingling with frantic splashes and mist rising in the cold air. Every leap and step is measured, yet fraught with risk. Hidden rocks and sudden depths lie in wait, ready to claim the unwary. Some falter, hooves slip on submerged ice, legs buckle, and the river claims the weakest. Survival here is starkly visible. Not all will reach the other side. Exhaustion becomes palpable as the herd progresses. The sheer effort of swimming against the current, clambering up slippery banks, and pressing onward across frozen plains takes its toll. Injuries are inevitable. Cuts, bruises, broken antlers, or sprained limbs mark the passage of life's relentless trial. Calves struggle alongside adults, some dragged across the ice by determined mothers, while others are pulled under by the merciless grip of the river. Yet the majority emerge, soaked, shivering, but alive, driven by instinct and the momentum of the herd. From above, the scene is staggering. Thousands of bodies surge forward like a living wave, the herd stretching in a continuous line across tundra, river, and ridge. Hooves strike in unison, snow exploding beneath them, antlers glinting under the Arctic sun. Dust and spray mingle with the glint of icy water, creating a mosaic of motion that stretches as far as the eye can see. The migration becomes a force of nature itself, unstoppable, relentless, and breathtaking in its scale. Yet the crossing is not just a story of caribou. The predators and scavengers of the Arctic also respond. Wolves follow at calculated distances, picking off the weak or disoriented. Grizzly bears wait along riverbanks, sensing opportunity in the chaos. Ravens and eagles circle above, eyes glinting, searching for missteps to exploit. The struggle for survival is shared, a pulse that reverberates through every species in the ecosystem. Each participant, predator, prey, and observer, shapes the outcome, maintaining the balance of this harsh yet fragile wilderness. As the herd reaches solid ground once more, snowflakes cling to fur, lungs heave in exertion, and the herd presses onward, undeterred by loss. The river has claimed some, yet strengthened the determination of those who remain. The migration continues, a testament to endurance, instinct, and the unforgiving rhythm of life in Alaska. And beyond this crossing lies a broader story, a tapestry of creatures, landscapes, and challenges, all intertwined in the Arctic's grand narrative of survival. Here the caribou lead the way, but they are not alone. Above the frozen expanse of Alaska, the air is alive with motion. Bald eagles, golden eagles, and ravens glide effortlessly on thermal currents, wings outstretched, eyes sharp and unblinking. From their lofty vantage point, they survey the tundra below, scanning the snow-blanketed plains for movement, for opportunity, for life. Each shadow cast on the ice tells a story. Each ripple of motion in the herds hints at vulnerability. They are masters of observation, silent and unrelenting. Their presence a reminder that survival in the Arctic is not only a ground-bound struggle. Bald eagles perch atop jagged rocks and frozen trees, their white heads stark against the pale sky, while golden eagles sweep low across the tundra, wings slicing through gusts of wind, casting brief shadows over the caribou herds. Ravens, smaller but no less cunning, flit between ridges and riverbanks, black silhouettes against the bright snow, ever watchful for scraps or the aftermath of predator activity. Together, these aerial hunters form a network of intelligence, eyes everywhere, waiting for a chance to capitalize on the missteps of those below. While the caribou move in disciplined rhythm, grazing and navigating rivers, the lords of the sky maintain a patient watch. Their talons, sharp and ready, are not always for immediate strike. Often they follow at a distance, observing the movement of the herds, noting where calves wander too far or adults falter under exhaustion. Their presence is a subtle pressure, part of the intricate web of life that shapes behavior on the ground. Every leap, every sprint, every pause of the herd is mirrored by an alert glance in the sky. Nature's cleanup crew plays a critical role in this ecosystem. When predators claim their prey, the eagles and ravens descend, tearing through flesh with precision, consuming what remains, and leaving nothing to waste. Their activity accelerates decomposition, returns nutrients to the land, and ensures that every part of the Arctic's bounty is used. The interaction between sky and ground is an elegant, if ruthless, symphony of survival. The herds sustain life for the hunters below, and the hunters sustain the land itself. Below, thousands of caribou stretch across tundra, hooves pounding snow, antlers raised in vigilance, bodies moving as a unified current. Above, eagles soar with measured grace, wings catching the sun's glare, shadows fleeting over the white plains. Ravens dart in chaotic arcs, their dark forms punctuating the pale landscape. Together, predator and prey, earth and sky, create a living tapestry of tension, beauty, and purpose. In this frozen wilderness, life exists in layers. the caribou pressing onward with endurance and instinct, the aerial hunters observing and seizing opportunity, and the tundra itself forming the stage upon which the dance of survival unfolds. The sky watches over the land, and the land responds in kind, every creature connected in a delicate balance that has endured for millennia. Beneath the pale Arctic sky, shadows move with purpose and precision. These are the wolves of Alaska, the silent hunters, ghosts of the tundra, whose lives are bound by loyalty, hunger, and instinct. Packs roam the frozen plains in coordinated unity, each member an essential thread in a tapestry of survival. Alphas lead with quiet authority, setting the pace, guiding the hunt, and maintaining order. Betas and subordinates follow, attuned to subtle cues. A glance, a shift in stance, a low guttural growl signaling vigilance or intent. Even the youngest pups, barely able to run, learn the rhythm of the pack, absorbing lessons that will shape them into hunters capable of crossing the tundra for months at a time. Hunting calls break the Arctic stillness, soft howls that echo across valleys and ridges, carrying messages of direction, coordination, and alert. These vocalizations keep the pack synchronized during the long pursuit of prey, warning of danger or signaling a shift in strategy. They are at once communication and ritual, reinforcing bonds of trust and obedience, reminding every member that unity is survival. A lone wolf, lost or straying, is vulnerable. Together, they are a force unmatched in endurance and cunning. The caribou migration defines the rhythm of the wolves' lives. For months, they follow these immense herds, tracking movement across frozen rivers, snow-packed ridges, and endless tundra. Wolves rely not on brute speed alone, but on persistence, strategy, and knowledge of terrain. They shadow the herd, studying patterns, waiting for the moment when exhaustion or inexperience will reveal weakness. A calf separated from its mother, a weakened adult, a misstep on treacherous ice. These are the moments the pack exploits, executing strikes with coordinated efficiency and astonishing precision. Yet hunting is only part of their story. Wolves live, travel, and survive as a family. Cubs romp among the snow, ears twitching at the distant sound of migration, learning the unspoken rules of the pack through play and observation. Older siblings and adults guide them with gentle nudges and firm corrections, teaching patience, coordination, and the subtle art of stalking prey. Even in the harshest months, the pack operates as a single organism, united by hunger, experience, and the instinctive understanding that survival depends on the whole, not the individual. Across the tundra, the emotional resonance of the pack is palpable. There is discipline in every step, patience in every pause, and tension in every watchful glance. Life and death hang on synchronization, communication, and unwavering attention to the rhythms of the herd. Wolves are relentless yet measured, hunters yet nurturers, predators yet teachers. Their existence is a testament to the power of cooperation, endurance, and instinct honed across millennia. But not all hunters rely on speed or numbers. Some employ patience, stealth, or sheer cunning, striking only when opportunity presents itself. In the dense, silent forest bordering Alaska's tundra, massive forms stir from long hibernation. Grizzly bears and brown bears, the lone giants of the north, emerge from dens carved into rocky slopes or nestled beneath fallen trees. Muscles, coiled and rigid from months of inactivity, ripple beneath thick fur as they stretch and shake off the weight of winter. Their eyes, amber and unyielding, scan the landscape for sustenance, for life, for survival in a world that offers both abundance and peril in equal measure. Food is the first priority. Salmon run in rivers, glinting silver in the spring currents, and the bear's immense claws tear at the water with astonishing precision. Berries begin to dot the bushes along the forest edge, their sweetness a fleeting reward against the unforgiving demands of the north. Yet even these giants, predators of unmatched strength, often turn toward a more challenging prize: the caribou calves scattered across the tundra. Here, in the open expanse, sheer muscle meets endurance, and instinct clashes with the relentless rhythm of the herd. A bear approaches the edge of the plains. Its immense bulk moves deliberately, paw pressing into snow, nose twitching with the scent of young life. In the distance, a herd of caribou grazes, oblivious to the shadow that inches closer. With a surge of power, the bear charges, muscles coiling like springs released, fur bristling in anticipation. The herd responds instantly. Adults shift, calves huddle, and a wave of hooves thunder across the frozen plain. The chase begins, a clash of raw strength against unyielding endurance. The bear lunges, powerful jaws snapping, yet the herd's rhythm carries it forward, momentum multiplied by thousands of hooves striking in unison. For every second of explosive force, there is a measure of futility. The bear tires quickly. Distance favors the herd, whose legs, sinewy and conditioned for endless miles, outlast brute strength. Yet even failure is not wasted. Each attempt teaches, each exertion strengthens the predator, and the tundra bears witness to the unspoken dialogue between hunter and prey. Power meets persistence, and survival is determined not by a single encounter, but by the cumulative lessons of the season. From above, the scene is breathtaking. Snow kicks up in clouds beneath fleeing caribou, while the bear's dark bulk contrasts starkly against the white landscape. Every detail is a testament to adaptation. The caribou's stamina, the bear's explosive strength, the tundra's indifferent expanse stretching endlessly toward distant mountains. The encounter is a dance of extremes, of size, speed, and instinct, unfolding in slow motion for the attentive observer. In Alaska, even the giants are challenged, and survival demands more than power alone. Every bear, every caribou, every predator and prey participant exists within a web of life where skill, instinct, and endurance converge. The tundra is impartial. It rewards the resilient and tests the mighty, forging the narrative of the Arctic year after year. Across the frozen expanse of Alaska, life thrives not only in size or strength, but in cunning and resilience. Among the most ingenious of the Arctic's inhabitants is the Arctic fox, a small but formidable survivor of the tundra. Cloaked in a winter coat as white as the surrounding snow, it is a ghost in the landscape, moving silently across drifts and ridges, its keen eyes scanning for opportunity. Beneath the snow, burrows offer shelter from icy winds and predators, a hidden network of tunnels where warmth and safety are meticulously preserved. These clever scavengers are intimately attuned to the rhythms of the land and its larger inhabitants. They trail caribou migrations with patient precision, following the hoof prints left in snow, the distant echoes of predator calls, and the scent trails that wind across valleys. Wolves, grizzlies, and wolverines, in their pursuit of prey, unwittingly provide feasts for the foxes. A carcass left behind by a bear, scraps discarded by a wolf pack. These are prizes seized with quiet efficiency. Every movement is deliberate, calculated, a balance of caution and necessity. Arctic foxes employ stealth as a weapon. Their diminutive size allows them to approach unsuspecting leftovers unnoticed, weaving between towering hooves and shadows of massive predators. They pause at the edge of a kill, muscles coiled, nose twitching, scanning for the slightest sign of danger. Then, In sudden bursts of lightning speed, they snatch morsels, disappearing into drifts or burrows before the attention of larger creatures can be drawn. The tundra's white camouflage makes them almost invisible, their survival dependent on timing, patience, and sharp instinct. Winter is both their ally and adversary. As temperatures plummet to brutal extremes, the fox's coat thickens, insulating against winds that bite like knives. Their paws, wide and fur-covered, glide across snow, while their keen senses detect subtle vibrations of movement beneath the ice. In this harsh season, survival is measured not only by strength, but by cleverness and adaptability, qualities the Arctic fox embodies in every step, every calculated approach, every cautious raid. Their existence highlights the layered complexity of the Arctic ecosystem. While the caribou dominate the plains with sheer numbers, the wolves govern through coordination, the bears through power. The foxes remind us that intelligence and patience are equally essential for survival. Small yet resilient, they carve a niche in a landscape that tests endurance, strategy, and cunning daily. And beyond these foxes, smaller creatures, hares, lemmings, and voles also endure, each adapting to snow, ice, and the constant shadow of larger predators. Beneath the snow-blanketed tundra of Alaska, a quieter world thrives, invisible to the casual observer, yet vital to the pulse of life above. Lemmings, voles, and snowshoe hares move beneath the frost, tunneling through icy layers to find shelter, food, and safety. Their tiny bodies carve a hidden labyrinth, a network of passages where survival is measured in hours and ingenuity. Here, in the frozen underworld, the rhythm of life continues, unseen but indispensable, forming the very foundation of the Arctic food chain. These small creatures are the lifeblood of the tundra. Their population cycles ripple upward, influencing the abundance and behavior of predators above. In years when lemmings are plentiful, owls perch in silent vigil, wings poised for the slightest movement below. Arctic foxes and stoats track the snowshoe hare, timing their hunting with the rise and fall of prey populations. Conversely, when numbers dwindle, survival becomes precarious. Predators wander farther, hunt longer, and adapt strategies, creating a delicate balance that shapes the entire ecosystem. Every burrow, every tunnel, every bite of moss or lichen reverberates through the food web, sustaining life on levels both large and small. Lemmings dart along narrow snow tunnels, their tiny paws leaving faint impressions in powdery drifts. Voles gnaw at roots and stems, storing energy for the long, relentless winter. Snowshoe hares, with coats shifting from brown to pure white, slip silently between patches of exposed tundra, vigilant against predators unseen above. Each movement is survival, each interaction a testament to instinct honed over millennia. Despite their size, these animals wield enormous influence. Owls, perched like statues on frozen branches, rotate their heads, sharp eyes scanning for the faintest motion below. Ravens and foxes circle or approach stealthily, relying on the activity of these small mammals to signal opportunity. Without the lemming and hare populations, the predators falter. Without the predators, the small mammals risk overconsumption of sparse vegetation. It is a perpetual dance, unseen yet profoundly consequential, a pulse that drives the tundra's rhythm. Life below the snow is a paradox, hidden yet essential, fragile yet persistent. Each tunnel carved, each footstep taken, contributes to a living network of sustenance. From the smallest vole to the largest wolf, the pulse of survival is synchronized by these foundational species. Their daily struggle for warmth, nourishment, and shelter mirrors the broader challenges faced by all creatures in this extreme environment, reminding us that even the tiniest life is indispensable in maintaining the balance of the Arctic. Above, the caribou thunder in migration. Predators watch from land and sky. Yet beneath the snow, an equally intricate story unfolds. Invisible, but integral. In Alaska, survival is layered, a mosaic of life where every species, no matter how small, shapes the destiny of the wilderness. As the Arctic thaw slowly transforms frozen rivers into glistening streams and snow melts into marshes, the skies awaken with life. Owls, falcons, and a host of migratory birds return from distant lands, guided by instinct and the invisible compass of the planet itself. Their arrival signals summer, a fleeting season of abundance and opportunity, yet also a time of vigilance, for the tundra is both generous and unforgiving. Wings slice through the crisp air, shadows flickering across the thawing ground, each flight a delicate balance of grace, speed, and survival. Owls glide silently above the treeless plains, feathers almost soundless against the wind. Snowy owls perch atop frozen ridges, eyes unblinking, scanning for lemmings, voles, and hares below. Falcons dive with precision, talons extended, targeting prey that barely perceives the predator until it is too late. Each species moves with purpose, patterns honed through generations, rhythms synced with the land and the creatures below. Flight is freedom, yet it is also strategy, a constant interplay between nourishment and risk. Migratory birds return in vast numbers, their formations painting the sky in lines, arcs, and shifting clouds of motion. Geese honk overhead in unison, while shorebirds skim across thawing streams, their reflections rippling in mirrored water. Every movement is purposeful, every route dictated by survival, temperature, and the availability of food. The Arctic landscape may appear vast and empty, yet it teems with invisible signals, guiding wings and instincts alike, connecting distant continents through a single, relentless migration. Nesting becomes a delicate enterprise. On exposed rocks, in sheltered crevices, or atop windswept ridges, fragile eggs are laid with precision and care. Parents alternate between foraging and vigilance, shielding their young from the capricious elements, sudden storms, and opportunistic predators. A single misstep, a forgotten egg, a lapse in attention can mean the difference between life and death. Yet within this fragile framework, life persists, defying the harshness of its environment with meticulous planning, instinctive ingenuity, and unyielding perseverance. The tundra stretches endlessly below, a white and brown mosaic interspersed with the shimmer of rivers and lakes. Caribou herds continue their migration across plains and hills. Predators stalk with patient focus, and above it all, birds trace invisible highways in the sky. The layers of life, earthbound and airborne, intersect in a breathtaking tableau of survival, adaptation, and interconnectedness. But while the skies fill with wings, the earth begins to tremble again. Hooves strike snow and soil, dust rises from riverbanks, and the pulse of the tundra quickens. Caribou herds press onward, predators adjust their strategy, and the relentless cycle of movement and survival resumes. The Arctic is a world of contrasts: flight and footing, predator and prey, fragility and resilience, all bound together by the invisible threads of instinct, endurance, and the eternal rhythm of life. As the Arctic summer spreads its brief warmth, The frozen landscape begins to transform. Ice melts along rivers and streams, sending rushing waters down valleys, glinting like liquid silver in the sun. The tundra, once a stark expanse of white and gray, blooms with life. Mosses and grasses unfurl, wildflowers punctuate the plains with bursts of color, and fresh lichen carpets the ground in muted greens and yellows. The air carries new scents, the promise of nourishment, and the quiet anticipation of movement. It is time for the caribou to resume their journey. After months of survival, calves strengthened and herds replenished, the great migration pressed northward once more. Hooves strike softening snow and wet soil, sending sprays of water and dirt into the air. Thousands of bodies move in unison, a living wave stretching across valleys and ridges, each step guided by ancient memory and instinct. Mothers nudge calves forward, leaders set the pace, and the rhythm of the herd is steady, unwavering, and eternal. Rivers, once frozen and treacherous, now shimmer and swell, reflecting clouds and sky. Patches of ice cling stubbornly to shaded banks, while sunlight illuminates thawing ground, revealing mosses, small streams, and hidden rivulets. Predators, too, respond to the shift. Wolves move along river edges, bears forage in forests edging the plains, and foxes and smaller scavengers follow the advancing herds, timing their movements with precision. Above, migratory birds return to feed and nest, adding motion to the sky that mirrors the pulse on the ground. These herds follow routes that have remained unchanged for millennia. Ancient pathways etched across valleys, ridges, and river crossings guide their journey with a wisdom passed through countless generations. Every river ford, every slope, every stretch of open tundra has been trodden by ancestors, an invisible map imprinted on memory and instinct. In their movement, the caribou are not just surviving, they are participants in a living history, tracing the rhythms of the Arctic that have endured since time immemorial. The tundra itself seems to breathe with the pulse of migration. Each hoofbeat resonates through soil and snow, through rivers and air, a subtle vibration that connects predator, prey, and landscape. Life is abundant yet fragile, vast yet intricately balanced. Survival is a legacy, endurance a necessity, and each movement northward is a testament to the resilience of species shaped by the Arctic's extremes. As the herd moves onward, the cycle continues, ancient roots, seasonal transformations, and the unbroken rhythm of life in the frozen north. The journey resumes, majestic, relentless, and breathtaking, a living testament to endurance, instinct, and the eternal heartbeat of Alaska's wilderness. Even in the height of summer, Alaska's Arctic is unforgiving. Snowstorms can sweep across the tundra with little warning, icy winds lashing against fur and skin, sending drifts of white into the eyes of weary travelers. Clouds hang low, the sky darkened with threat, and visibility narrows to mere meters. Yet the caribou press on, muscles straining, hooves pounding through snow-laden ground, driven by instinct and necessity. Survival here demands endurance, courage, and the ability to endure the whims of a landscape that is as beautiful as it is brutal. As if frozen precipitation were not enough, the herds face a far smaller but equally relentless threat. Swarms of biting insects descend, darkening the air like fleeting shadows. Black flies and mosquitoes cluster around exposed flesh, probing, biting, and testing the patience of both adults and calves. The agony of their assault is evident. Animals shift restlessly, flicking heads, stomping hooves, and kicking at the relentless pests. Even the strongest caribou cannot escape entirely, and the irritations sap energy, adding yet another layer to the trials of this extraordinary migration. The sun blazes relentlessly during the Arctic's 24-hour daylight, turning meadows into heat-soaked expanses. Temperatures can climb sharply, leaving hooves pounding softened ground, breathing heavy, muscles straining under exhaustion. Calves, though resilient, falter occasionally, staggering under the weight of fatigue, while mothers nudge them onward, urging them to keep pace with the unstoppable rhythm of the herd. Every step is a test, against hunger, against insects, against heat, and against the ever-present physical toll of endless miles. These trials serve as the ultimate filter, a brutal measure of endurance and fitness. Not all will survive. Some succumb to exhaustion, injury, or the persistent torment of pests and elements. Yet those who endure gain strength, knowledge, and the assurance that their genes will carry forward. Migration is not a journey of mere movement. It is an unyielding gauntlet, where only the fittest can continue, where each challenge reinforces the herd's resilience, and where survival is earned with every painful mile. From above, the scene is striking. Vast herds undulating across tundra that shifts from sunlit greenery to snow-swept patches, moving steadily through heat, wind, and insect swarms. Each caribou embodies the duality of struggle and determination, a living testament to the resilience necessary to survive one of the harshest environments on Earth. Predators watch from the edges, opportunistic and patient, aware that the elements themselves shape the fate of both hunter and hunted. Across the tundra, a hush falls over the snow-dusted plain, a tension palpable in the air. Wolves, the silent predators, have sensed opportunity. With eyes locked on the caribou herd, their muscles coil, paws pressing into the soft earth, anticipation vibrating through the pack. These are endurance hunters, sculpted by evolution to pursue relentlessly, to test the limits of both stamina and instinct. Every hunt is a trial, every chase a story of survival written in motion. The pack moves with precision. Alphas lead the charge, beta wolves flank the edges, and younger members watch, learning the delicate balance of patience and aggression. Communication is subtle, a flick of the tail, a low growl, a shift in gait, yet the coordination is flawless. They spread, encircle, and push, guiding the herd toward exhaustion. Every step, every breath, every calculated maneuver brings predator and prey closer to the inevitable confrontation between speed and strategy. The caribou respond in an instinctive rhythm. Calves stick close to mothers. Adults adjust pace to shield the young, to confuse the hunters. Hooves drum against soft soil. Snow sprays into the cold air, and dust rises from the sheer momentum of the herd. The chase stretches across ridges and valleys, a wave of movement undulating like the wind through tall grass. Predators may succeed in snatching the vulnerable, but often failure looms large. A miscalculated leap, an exhausted lung, and the wolves must reset, conserving energy for the next opportunity. From above, the scene is breathtaking. Shadows of sleek wolves interweave with thundering hooves. The tension between predator and prey is a living rhythm, constant and unbroken. Success is immediate and final for some, devastating in its impact, yet fleeting in the cycle of life. For each caribou taken, dozens more press forward, instinct and endurance entwined, propelled by a drive as ancient as the tundra itself. For the wolves, hunger never waits. For the caribou, fear never sleeps. It is a delicate equilibrium, where life and death coexist in every step, every glance, every heartbeat. The endurance of the hunters is tested as rigorously as the resilience of the hunted. Energy is measured, instincts sharpened, and strategies recalibrated in a dance that has persisted across millennia. In these moments, the Arctic is a stage of raw, unfiltered life, an eternal contest of survival, written in motion, stamina, and instinct. The endless pursuit is not merely a hunt. It is a testament to the interconnectedness of predator and prey, a narrative of endurance, strategy, and resilience. Wolves push the herd, caribou resist and adapt, and the tundra itself bears witness, impartial yet integral to the unfolding drama. Life moves in cycles, each chasing a chapter, each step a continuation of an ancient story that shapes every creature within this frozen expanse. And as the chase concludes, whether in success or retreat, the tundra exhales. The rhythm of survival persists, unbroken, unyielding, and eternal, a pulse that echoes across the Arctic plains for all who endure its trials. After thousands of miles, over rivers, ridges, and snow-swept plains, the caribou herd reaches the calving grounds once more. The land, scarred and reshaped by the passage of countless hooves, welcomes them with muted abundance, new grass pushing through thawing soil, mosses vibrant in the Arctic sunlight, and streams swollen from melting snow. Here the journey pauses, yet life continues its relentless rhythm. The migration, epic in scale and endurance, has come full circle. Among the herd, the scars of survival are visible. Fallen companions are remembered only by the quiet absence in the sea of bodies, the gaps left in the flowing rhythm of thousands. Predators have claimed some, exhaustion has claimed others. Yet life persists, unbroken, unrelenting, and resilient. Mothers nuzzle newborn calves, guiding them with gentle insistence, teaching them the first steps that will carry them across tundra and river in the seasons to come. The cycle of life, survival, loss, and renewal unfolds with grace amidst the harshness of the Arctic. The symbolism is profound. Each birth represents hope, each loss a reminder of the wild's impartial justice. The tundra itself reflects this duality. Melting ice feeds streams, providing nourishment. Rugged cliffs and riverbanks conceal dangers, teaching vigilance. And the changing light of the Arctic summer casts shadows that dance across the land, illuminating both triumph and struggle. In these spaces, life is both fragile and tenacious, fleeting yet eternal. Tiny calves wobble on wobbly legs, antlers of adult caribou silhouette against the sunlit plains. Predators lurk on the edges, and the Arctic sky stretches endlessly above, a canopy of blue and gold. Every detail, from a mother's nuzzle to a calf's first tentative steps, contributes to the tapestry of survival. The herd's journey, though monumental in scale, is also intimate in its moments of care, instinct, and the unspoken bond between generations. In this culmination, the lessons of the migration crystallize. Strength alone does not ensure survival. Instinct, cooperation, endurance, and timing are equally vital. The tundra's harshness has tested every creature, shaped every instinct, and preserved the balance of life in this northern wilderness. Each heartbeat, each hoofbeat, each flutter of wings or rustle in underbrush contributes to an ecosystem finely tuned over millennia. And as one journey ends, another begins, the eternal heartbeat of the wild. The herds will rest, recover, and prepare to embark once more, guided by memory, instinct, and the cycles of the seasons. Predators will watch, smaller creatures will scurry, and the tundra will continue to challenge, nurture, and sustain all who call it home. Beyond the tundra, where land yields to the vast expanse of Arctic waters, life continues in its own rhythm, shaped by ice, cold, and ocean currents. Here, the frozen seas form a precarious stage for survival. Massive sheets of ice stretch across the horizon, glinting under low Arctic sun, fracturing and shifting with the tides. Upon this fragile surface, walruses gather in herds, their tusks piercing the air, bodies huddled for warmth, their calls echoing across the ice. Seals, sleek and agile, navigate the icy waters below, surfacing through holes in the ice to breathe, ever watchful for predators above and below. They are the lifeblood of the frozen ocean, providing nourishment for polar bears and sustaining a network of life that connects sea and land. Every dive, every breach, every flick of a tail is a dance with danger, the balance between predator and prey, survival and starvation, played out in icy currents and shifting flows. Polar bears dominate this frozen kingdom. Towering and powerful, they traverse the ice with deliberate steps, nose close to the ground, tracking seals through scent and instinct. Hunting is an exercise in patience and precision. A careful wait by a breathing hole, a sudden lunge through cracking ice, jaws clamping with both force and timing. Cubs watch and learn, their playful practice disguised as survival training, preparing them for the harsh reality of life in the Arctic. Mothers nurture with tireless devotion, teaching each lesson of endurance, stealth, and resilience. The frozen seas are more than habitat. They are lifelines. Sea ice regulates the rhythm of hunting, the timing of births, and the patterns of migration. When ice recedes, prey and predator alike adjust, moving across land and water to maintain balance. Walruses haul onto beaches, seals retreat to safer ice flows, and polar bears follow, all orchestrated by the subtle and relentless push of seasons and currents. From the vantage of an aerial sweep, the connection between ocean and tundra becomes clear. Caribou traverse plains hundreds of miles inland. Wolves and bears stalk them along rivers and forests. And then, at the frozen edge of the world, seals slip silently beneath the ice, walruses congregate, and polar bears reign supreme. Each ecosystem feeds into the other, threads of life interwoven across land, river, and sea, demonstrating the Arctic's vast, interconnected network of survival. Here, in the interplay of ice, water, and life, the story of endurance continues. The frozen seas are a mirror to the tundra, harsh, beautiful, and unyielding, reminding all who observe that survival in Alaska is not confined to land alone. It stretches across continents of ice and water, linking predator, prey, and environment in a symphony of resilience that echoes through the north. From the open ocean to the winding rivers of Alaska, a pulse of life surges with remarkable precision. Salmon, silver-bodied and relentless, begin their upstream journey, leaving the vast blue for the icy currents of freshwater streams. It is a migration written into their DNA, a cycle spanning thousands of miles, timed with the melting snow and warming rivers. Every leap over waterfalls, every struggle against the current, every flash of movement is a testament to endurance, instinct, and the delicate choreography of life. The rivers become arenas of abundance and competition. Grizzly bears wait patiently along banks, muscles coiled, eyes fixed on the shimmering fish. With explosive precision, paws strike water, claws scoop, jaws clamp, and the feast begins. Eagles circle above, talons extended, eyes tracking the silver trails beneath the waves. Occasionally, a bear and an eagle share a moment, one claiming a prize, the other seizing a discarded morsel. It is a frenzy, yet one dictated by the rhythm of nature. A reminder that survival is both a personal struggle and a shared performance. Timing is everything. The salmon's upstream migration is a window of opportunity, too early, and the rivers are still clogged with ice. Too late, and predators have claimed much of the bounty. The predators, in turn, synchronize their lives to this pulse. Cubs grow stronger on the protein-rich diet. Adults replenish energy reserves, and eagles feed their young, teaching them to hunt and survive. In these moments, the power of nature's timing is undeniable. Cycles of life, death, and sustenance unfold with flawless precision, interdependence evident in every interaction. Beyond the immediate spectacle, the salmon serve a broader purpose. Nutrients carried from the ocean into river ecosystems feed not only predators but also the surrounding forests, enriching soil, nourishing vegetation, and supporting life far beyond the riverbanks. The frenzy of feeding is part of a greater ecological rhythm, a connection between water, land, and sky that sustains Alaska's vast wilderness. Bears, massive and deliberate, strike with practiced strength. Eagles wheel overhead, wings slicing the air with grace. Salmon leap in synchronized arcs, silver scales glinting in sunlight. The river churns, reflecting the sky, the surrounding forest, and the drama unfolding within. Each frame is a reminder that the Arctic is alive in cycles: predator and prey, river and ocean, ice and sunlight, all interwoven in a delicate, enduring balance. From the deep blue to the icy white, Alaska thrives in cycles. The salmon run, the predators feed, and life pulses with relentless continuity. These rivers, veins of the wilderness, link ecosystems, species, and generations. In their waters flows the story of endurance, timing, and the interconnected beauty of survival. A rhythm that, like the heartbeat of the tundra, is eternal, unbroken, and mesmerizing. Beyond the open tundra and frozen rivers lies Alaska's taiga, a vast forested expanse where life thrives in shadow and silence. Towering spruce and fir trees, their branches heavy with snow or shimmering with morning frost, create a labyrinth of green and white. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy in scattered beams, illuminating patches of moss, fallen logs, and hidden streams. It is a realm of contrast: shadow and light, stillness and movement, quiet and sudden bursts of life. Here, some of Alaska's largest forest dwellers find refuge. Moose stride deliberately through thick undergrowth, their massive antlers sweeping branches aside, nostrils flaring to sense fresh vegetation or distant danger. Elk graze cautiously in meadows tucked between clusters of fir, ever aware of the predators that prowl silently through the trees. Every movement is measured, a blend of strength, instinct, and vigilance, for the forest conceals both sustenance and peril. Predators, meanwhile, are shadows among the trees. The lynx, with tufted ears and padded paws, moves like a ghost, ears attuned to the faintest rustle of prey beneath the snow. Wolves navigate in disciplined packs, their howls echoing through the forest, a haunting reminder of their presence, signaling territory, coordination, and purpose. Every hunt is an exercise in patience and precision, a quiet duel between predator and prey played out in filtered light and shifting shadows. Sunlight strikes the snow-laden branches, creating glittering cascades of light. Tracks of moose, lynx, and wolves crisscross the forest floor, telling stories of movement and survival. The occasional frozen stream reflects the canopy above, while birds dart through gaps in the branches, adding sudden motion and color. Each detail, the flick of a tail, the crunch of snow underfoot, the shimmer of breath in cold air, builds a vivid, immersive tableau of life, thriving in the forest's intricate web. The forest's complexity illustrates the balance of ecosystems. Herbivores shape vegetation patterns, predators regulate populations, and smaller species, squirrels, hares, and birds, contribute to the pulse of life in subtle ways. Every creature, from the largest moose to the tiniest vole, plays a role in maintaining the forest's rhythm, each action interconnected with the next in a delicate, evolving network. Yet even here, human influence begins to leave its mark. Trails of snowmobile tracks, distant hums of machinery, and the intrusion of human presence hint at a changing wilderness. The forest kingdom, though resilient, is no longer untouched, a reminder that the delicate balance of predator, prey, and habitat exists alongside the shadow of humanity. Alaska's wilderness is vast, wild, and ancient, yet for millennia, it has also been home to humans, whose survival depended on understanding, respecting, and adapting to its rhythms. Indigenous Alaskan tribes have lived in intimate harmony with the land, reading the signs of migration, the whispers of the wind, and the subtle shifts of the seasons. Their lives are intertwined with the pulse of the Arctic, each choice informed by centuries of observation, tradition, and reverence. Caribou, the great wanderers of the tundra, have long been central to this relationship. Tribes follow their seasonal movements, not merely for sustenance, but as part of a larger cycle of respect. Rituals honor the animal's sacrifice, ensuring that hunting is purposeful, balanced, and mindful. Every part of the animal is used: meat for nourishment, hides for clothing and shelter, sinew for tools. Hunting is never taken lightly. It is a dialogue with the land, a practice of patience, skill, and gratitude. Through these practices, humans have learned to exist within the ecosystem without unraveling it. Yet alongside this ancient wisdom, modern pressures shape the Arctic frontier. Oil exploration, infrastructure development, and the expansion of settlements introduce challenges to ecosystems that have existed relatively undisturbed for millennia. Roads and pipelines fragment migration routes, pollution infiltrates rivers, and human presence can stress both caribou and predator populations. While conservation efforts strive to protect habitats and regulate hunting, the balance is delicate. Overhunting, even if unintended, can ripple through predator-prey dynamics, while industrial encroachment can disrupt the very cycles that sustain life in these extreme environments. The narrative of human interaction is one of duality. On one hand, there is stewardship and reverence, exemplified by indigenous knowledge and modern conservation initiatives. On the other, there is disruption and exploitation, driven by industry and expansion. This tension plays out across tundra, river, and forest, shaping the survival of species, the availability of food, and the integrity of habitats. Each decision, each intrusion, alters the intricate web that has persisted for thousands of years, reminding observers that humans are both a part of and apart from the Arctic ecosystem. Traditional hunters on snowshoes move quietly across plains alongside caribou tracks. In the distance, drilling rigs or roads mark human presence. Fishing nets glint in rivers, while pipelines stretch like scars across otherwise pristine landscapes. Every frame highlights the duality of coexistence and impact, reverence and disruption. In the vast expanse of Alaska, life thrives in delicate equilibrium. Every creature, from the smallest lemming tunneling beneath snow to the towering caribou pressing northward, plays a vital role in the ecosystem's intricate tapestry. Predators and prey, hunters and grazers, flyers and swimmers, all are threads woven together by instinct, endurance, and the relentless rhythm of survival. Each interaction, each chase, each step leaves an imprint, a subtle mark that reverberates across land, river, and ice. Wolves sprint across tundra, breathing heavily, chasing caribou that dart with practiced agility. Eagles wheel above riverbanks, talons extended, while bears feast on salmon tumbling upstream. Arctic foxes weave through snowdrifts, scavenging scraps overlooked by larger predators. Calves wobble on their first legs, young cubs stalk shadows, and migratory birds skim the skies in elegant arcs. The Arctic landscape itself responds. Rivers swell, ice cracks, forests shimmer, and tundra blooms, all forming a dynamic stage for the drama of life. Yet within this resilience lies profound vulnerability. A harsh storm can scatter herds, a sudden drought can alter food availability, and shifts in predator populations ripple through prey species. Every species relies on the survival of others. The loss of one thread can unravel patterns perfected over millennia. The tundra, forests, and frozen seas are magnificent, but they are not impervious. Nature's power is immense, but its stability is fragile, and every creature's role is both essential and fleeting. This balance is the Arctic's greatest story, a narrative of interdependence, adaptation, and the relentless push of life against extreme conditions. It is a testament to evolution's patient hand and the instinctual wisdom embedded in every organism. Here, survival is the product of cooperation, tension, and the invisible threads linking species across vast landscapes. But roads, settlements, industry, and climate change introduce pressures that can destabilize patterns honed for millennia. What has endured for eons is now measured against human impact, intrusion, exploitation, and the uncertain future of conservation efforts. The Arctic continues its pulse, but the rhythm is no longer purely natural. It now carries echoes of humanity, a reminder that even the strongest ecosystems are susceptible to outside forces. The fragile balance of Alaska's wilderness is breathtaking, intricate, and essential. It is a world where life flourishes in harmony, where every predator, prey, and plant contributes to an enduring story. Yet it is a story now intertwined with human choices, shaping the next chapter of survival in the wild north. Alaska's wilderness, long a realm of timeless rhythms and epic migrations, now bears the unmistakable mark of humanity. Climate change accelerates ice melt, reshaping rivers, tundra, and frozen seas, while rising temperatures shift vegetation patterns and disrupt ancient migratory routes. Industrial expansion adds new pressures. Oil pipelines scar landscapes, machinery hums across previously silent forests, and noise pollution unsettles both predator and prey. Even the most remote regions are not immune. Habitat fragmentation slices ecosystems into smaller, vulnerable pockets, challenging the endurance of species adapted to vast, unbroken expanses. Human influence is not purely destructive. Conservation initiatives, wildlife protection programs, and indigenous stewardship work tirelessly to maintain balance. Research informs adaptive management strategies, and legal protections for caribou, wolves, and Arctic rivers aim to preserve migration corridors and fragile habitats. In this duality, humans are both destroyers and protectors, shaping the Arctic's fate through choices that carry consequences for every living creature. The Arctic's survival depends on awareness, responsibility, and action. Every thawed river, every fragmented forest, every disrupted herd is a reminder that the balance between life and extinction rests not solely with nature, but with us. The magnitude of human impact is profound, yet the potential for redemption exists, a chance to coexist, to respect ancient cycles, and to safeguard the extraordinary migration of caribou and the myriad species that share this frozen realm. In the frozen silence of the Arctic, every hoofprint tells a story of endurance, of sacrifice, of survival. From the tundra plains to the frozen seas, from towering caribou herds to stealthy lynx, every element of Alaska's wilderness contributes to a narrative millions of years in the making. The migrations, the hunts, the births and losses, all are chapters in an epic story of life pushed to its limits, where survival is never guaranteed, yet persistence endures. The pulse of the Arctic beats through rivers, forests, ice, and sky, a rhythm both fragile and resilient. As observers, we are reminded that this story is not merely one of animals, land, or seasons. It is a story of connection, predator and prey, herbivore and scavenger, river and tundra, human and wild, all threads woven into a single intricate tapestry. The Arctic teaches endurance, adaptation, and the beauty of balance, yet it also warns of fragility. Every choice we make reverberates across landscapes and generations, shaping the future of migrations, ecosystems, and life itself. In witnessing the epic journeys of caribou, the hunting prowess of wolves, and the enduring pulse of the frozen north, we are called not only to marvel, but to act, to respect, to conserve, and to ensure that the wilderness's timeless stories of endurance, sacrifice, and survival continue for generations yet to come. But what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to explore the wonders of the wilderness of the Amazon. Life is waiting.